everyone, and welcome to Live from the Chromebook Cave with Mr. Rulin here at Dempsey Middle School. Today's September 9, 2016. It's about 12:19 p.m. I guess it's actually afternoon for you all folks. I'm here with your Friday Tech Tip and a couple other things we're going to pass along to you. I don't know if you guys happen to notice, but Wednesday was a big landmark day for Apple and their Apple products. We had the release or reveal of the new iPhone, as well as iWatch, a new version of that as well, and a couple other things, the announcement of iOS 10 and several others. Just wanted to give you a quick 30-second overview or a minute overview of what was said about the new iPhone 7. That's the new name for it, is the iPhone 7. And the biggest difference, I think, is the fact that you guys will see a loss of a headphone jack. Tim Cook referred to it as having courage, and so did Phil Schindler, the VP of development for Apple. He said it took them courage to step outside the box and move forward with technology, and that seems to be a trend for Apple as well. So again, you'll lose the headphone port, but within the box you're going to see a Lightning set of headphones, ear pods that will connect through the Lightning port, and they've also decided to include an adapter for the Lightning port all the way down to the 8-inch headphone jack, 3.5 millimeter. So you won't necessarily lose your headphone access that you guys have with the analog corded ones, but nonetheless, they're providing access to that. So in addition to that, they've also launched a line of wireless headphones which are called AirPods. And those are using what's now called a W1 chip. It's their latest processor chip that they've put in the headphones, which is kind of cool. Those won't be available until late October and look to be about $160 retail. But nonetheless, they did up the sizes as far as storage goes for the new iPhone. Those will be coming in 32, 128 gigs, and 256 gigabytes, which is kind of nice. It takes away from that 16 gigabyte version that we used to have, which, to be honest, I will attest to with mine right here, is definitely not enough space. I've been cursing myself since I bought it back on day of release at Verizon for getting the 16 gig. I should have just held out. It has not been enough space. For those of you that take photos, I would definitely advise, if you do upgrade to the next version, that you should definitely look at the bigger options, either the 128 or the 256 gigabyte versions. So nonetheless, the other killer, I think, upgrade that they made to the new phone was with the 7 Plus. This does not come on the 7 itself, but on the 7 Plus there are two cameras. One of them is a regular normal camera that you would see on the current one, on the current iPhone 7, or sorry, the current iPhone 6 or 6S. But then they also have a second camera right next to it that's a telephoto, and will go all the way up to 10x optical zoom, which is 10x digital zoom, 2x optical, and then all the way up to 10x digital, which is absolutely awesome. And then coming later on, late September, I believe, is when they were going to release it. It's going to be an update that we sent out for the photo app itself. You'll be able to take some neat photographic bokeh images, where you've got the foreground in focus and the background is a blur, which is just cool, absolutely awesome. I'm not huge into photography, but I think it is a kind of a cool feature to have available. So there, in a nutshell, is your new iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. Pre-orders start actually today, the 9th, and they'll start shipping those on the 13th. So iOS 10 comes out on the 13th as well, and you all will, if you have an Apple device, you'll be able to upgrade to that starting on the 13th. So nonetheless, let's get on to our tech tip for the day. So first thing, with the onset of the new iPhone, I think it's necessary to talk about, if you do upgrade, what do you need to do? What steps do you need to take before you go into Verizon or into AT&T or Sprint or wherever you're going, T-Mobile, Boost, any of those places? What do you need to do to your current phone before you head in there to do that upgrade? If you're certain you're going to go in there and take care of the upgrade, then these are the steps you're going to want to follow. So I'm going to pull up the screen here. I'll minimize myself to the corner, and let's talk about what needs to be done. So 8 things that you need to do before you sell your phone or upgrade, one of the two. A lot of the places will be offering an upgrade option where you'll get a trade-in value, so you're going to want to do this as well. So first off, number 1, back up your phone. And honestly, folks, I think this applies to any type of smartphone that you have. So if you happen to have an Android phone versus an iPhone, this would work as well. There'll be different ways to go about this. We're going to focus on the iPhone today, and I'll focus on the Android side later. There'll be a release here soon for the latest Google phone, the Google Pixel, and we'll talk about that later as well. Nonetheless, so number 1 is back it up. You need to back that up, whether it's to your Verizon account or on your own to Dropbox, or if you do it through iCloud. Personally, I think the iCloud option is the easiest. If you haven't already done so, create yourself an iCloud account, and then you can select what apps you want to save on the backup, as well as whether or not you're to do photos. That will be another tip for another day when we talk about photos. There's a couple of great apps out there, but we'll get to that later. Nonetheless, that'll be next week. Number 2, remove the photos from your camera roll. So you can connect the device to your computer and open the image capture or iPhoto and select all the photos and then click import all. So that puts them into iPhoto. The other option for you to do is to use some third-party app like Google Photos. And we'll talk about that again at a later time, where you can have those things uploaded to the cloud. And then after that, you'll want to delete those items after you download them or upload them to the cloud, whichever it is. So you'll go into the Photos app on your iPhone, and you will delete those out of that camera roll. So nonetheless, once you've done that, you'll want to restart your device. And then from there, there's a couple of settings that we need to turn off. So number 3 in the list here, turn off iMessage. So you're going to want to go in and you're going to turn off the iMessage in the Settings app. So you click on your Settings app and go to Messages, and then click on iMessage and switch that to off. Okay? You don't want someone else to have access to your iMessage account. And this also applies if you're going to give your phone to your kid. You want to make sure that your account is off of there. So, nonetheless, number 4, turn FaceTime off. So go into the Settings app, click on FaceTime, switch that to off. These are all little toggle switches that you can flip back and forth there on your screen. Number 5, disable your iCloud account. That is very important. You're going to want to go in there and click on the Settings app, go to iCloud and tap Sign Out. And then number 6, log out of your Apple ID. So in the Settings app, go to App and iTunes Store, tap the Apple ID and sign out. And then number 7, restore to factory settings. Now, I think there's a whole other step in here we need to talk about, and that's the Find My iPhone. I don't know if any of you have used that feature or not, where if you would happen to lose your iPhone, you can find it via GPS on the Find My iPhone app, but you do need to turn that off, and it will involve you signing into your Apple ID to do that, but it's very important, and that's under the Find My iPhone settings screen in the Settings app. So then you can restore it to factory settings. Open the Settings app, go to General, Reset, erase all content and settings. And then lastly, you want to unregister your device at supportprofile@apple.com. So once you've done that, then you can call your carrier or take it into them and say, hey, I want to upgrade, or hey, I'm selling my iPhone. I need to disassociate that device from my account with you. And while I'm here, I'm going to pick up the new one. So nonetheless, that's your tips for the day, folks. 8 things that you need to do before selling your iPhone. You can Google that if you want to. But nonetheless, like I love the little thing here on the screen. Don't leave anything behind. That's right. Make sure you get everything off of there. It's an important security thing to think about. So don't forget to follow us on Twitter at DCSCBCave. That's DCSCB Cave. And you can also, if you have suggestions or questions, you can email me at ruhlenwi@delawarecity.schools.net. This has been Mr. Rulin, live from the Chromebook Cave with your Tech Tip Friday, right here on September 9, 2016. You have yourselves a great weekend, folks. Thanks.